back to my channel. This is CT Crapstastic, and I'm going to continue my exploration of a hybrid strategy that the foundation of which is from Big AZ Craps Guru. It's the Don't Pass for Dummies strategy. When he came out with it, gosh, I don't know, a month ago or so, I thought it was a fantastic looking strategy. We saw some great things in his 30-day trial of it. I think he was successful or positive. What was it? 15 out of 18 days. And it was intriguing to me. And then when he took that on and did a 10-day trial of it, the wheels kind of came off, and it was one of those things that I thought, well, okay, if it's this prone to swaying one way or the other, how can we put things in our favor? And so this is my strategy, and it's really this: you start with $30 on the don't pass, and then you move up to the don't come, but you also buy or place, I should say, the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 10. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what happens. We'll choose $5 chips and $30 on the don't pass. Here's our come out roll. All right, we got AC Doocy. That's going to bring us a $30 profit. We're grateful for that. Just remember, what gives away, what comes also goes. This is, after all, gambling. Come out. And there, even as I said it, there's Big Red to take away that $30 that we just won. That's all right. We're going to start over. Coming up. All right, the point is 6. I've got $30 on the don't pass, and I'm going to go ahead and put 10 on the don't come. I'm going to put 5 on the 4 and 10, and 12 on the 6 and 8. And that gives us, I believe, a $74 exposure. However, if we just hit one of those 4, 6, 8, or 10, we're going to make money, even on a 7 out. Now, of course, this is a don't pass strategy, and so the point is our enemy. Big Red is what helps us make money. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and roll. Let me go ahead and change this to a 5. There we go. And there's Big Red right there. All right, not so ideal because we didn't get a chance to hit one of the numbers that had the money on it. And so, again, we're not too far down. It was $14 we lost because of the don't pass strategy. So let's go ahead and set it back up again. Here we go. Coming up. The point is 8. And again, we're going to go ahead 10 on the don't come, 4 on the, 5 on the 4. We're going to do 12 on the 6 and the 8, and 5 on the 10. And keep in mind, I'm also, regardless of where the point is, this is the strategy, just like this. We got 74 exposed. Here we go. And we had hit the 6. Now, that's a winner of $14, and the DC moves over to the 6, which makes a 7 valuable to us on the way down. So if we hit a 7 right now, that would be a $30 don't pass. That would pay $30 on the don't pass line, and it would pay $10 on this 6. That's $40, and we were exposed for less than that. We're exposed for 10, 20, $22. So we're going to make money if we hit a 7 early on. And therein lies the whole don't pass strategy. The thing that we don't do is I don't put odds on the 4 or the 10 as the original don't pass for dummies strategy came out with. And it's a little slower in making the money, but it certainly has been fun to play with. I'll be honest with you, I've seen it go up, I've seen it go down. Let's see where this takes us. All right, so there we go. We got Big Red, and we are $18 positive for the experience. Let's go ahead and set it back up. Special thanks to Big AZ. I know he's had a roll of some tough luck recently, but I'll tell you the strategy, his mind is sharp, and the strategy that he creates is fantastic. Here's our come out roll. And the point is 6. He said recently, if the dice are working for you, you look like a genius. If the dice are working against you, you look like an idiot. Isn't that the very definition of, of a craps player altogether? All right, so we're going ahead and setting it back up for a $74 exposure, and we're going to go ahead and roll for some of the money. All right, that goes to a 9. 9 is not covered with any money, and therefore the DC simply travels to the 9, and we'll go ahead and put up another $10 on the DC. This strategy puts up $10 on the DC, or 1/3 of whatever your don't pass line bet is. And it does that regardless. No matter what the roll, you go ahead and put up the DC. Even if it hits the 9 again and just knocks that 9 off and moves over to the 9, yeah, we're losing $10, but we're not losing $40 or $60 at a time, right? Or $30 or $60 at a time, which was the original Don't Pass for Dummies strategy. So let's see what we got. And we have a chance of making some money based on the 4 and 10 because it's got money on it. Here we go. All right, even as I said it, the 9, we hit the 9 again. And so we knock the 9 DC off and then move the DC back over to the 9. Another 10 up. There's our 8. We're going to make $14 for rolling the 8. The DC moves over to the 8. Now our 7 position is strong because if we do roll big red, we will get 30 here, 10. There's $50 down, and we're only exposed $22 on the top right now. Let's go $10 up. There's a 3. The Acey-Deucey is going to bring us a $10 winner on the don't come, and we'll just put that bet right back up. All right, Snake Eyes, same thing. Those aces are going to bring us another $10 win on the don't come, and we'll put the original bet back up. We could do that all day long, folks. It's kind of fun. And it looks like we're going to. There's a 3. All right, so we'll put the $10 back up. We're making money just by rolling those outsiders, and there's our 7. So now we're really making money. Take a look. We're $70 up, and we are, what is that, about 5 minutes in, 6, 7 minutes in. This is when the strategy is working. This is what it looks like. And I put that out there just because it doesn't always look like this, folks. It is, after all, gambling, and the house always has the advantage. Here's our rollout, or our come out, sorry. All right. Well, there you go. There's a 7. We lost that $30. It's exposed. There's no protection. I don't hedge, anything like that. It's just a simple come out roll. We're going to do it again. All right, the point is 8. That means we're going to put 10 on the don't come, 5 on the 4 and 10, and 12 on the 6 and 8. We're $74 exposed and ready to rock and roll. Here we go. All right, we hit the point right away. That's the worst case scenario. And so, we make the $14 on the 8, but we lose the $30 here. Everything else stays on the board, and everything is turned off as we hit the come out. Oops. Let's switch that over. There we go. We're going to switch that to $30 on the come out roll, and here we go again. All right, point's 8 again, and so we lose the DC that was on the 8, $10 on the DC here, and because this is not a 7-out situation, I am not replacing the money that was on the number 8. So we're going to just go ahead and roll again. All right, so there's a 6. We made $14 on the 6. The point, or the DC moves to the 6, $10 back up on DC. And as quickly as it comes, it goes. Just going to shuffle that over to the 6 again. All right, there's our 7. And now we are $38 up for our time. And we need to keep working the strategy to hopefully climb up above where we were before in the low 70s. All right. $30 up, coming out. Point is 5. With that, we're going to go ahead and put $5 on, or I'm sorry, $10 on the don't come, $5 on the 4. We're going to put $12 on the 6 and the 8, and $5 on the 10. Put the caps on. $74, and let's roll. That moves to the 9. A DC moves to the 9. That's great. In the event that we hit a 7, we are covered and good. Let's go ahead and do this. $10. All right. We hit our point. We lost the $30 on the don't pass. The board is set, however, for the next round. We're going to go ahead and reload our don't pass bet, and coming up. There's our 7. And so we cleared the board of that. That's not the best situation, obviously, but it's not as painful as it could be. $30 coming out. All right. So because it's a come out roll, we did not make the $9.75 for hitting on the 10. However, we've got better odds of not hitting the point. Again, in this don't pass strategy, hitting the point is bad, and we minimize that risk by putting the $5 here. So when the $5 is on there, we get $9.75. They take the VIG. This software puts it as a buy bet instead of a place bet. But we make $9.75, and that lessens the sting of hitting the point. All right, we are good to go. We got our don't come back up and ready to roll. And the 7 out. Just like that. We're at 9,984. By the way, this software starts with 10,000. I establish in my mind a $300 conservative bankroll or a $500 comfortable bankroll. And the way that I manage that is I simply will not go below the number that I set in my mind on this, because there's no way to change with this particular software the actual bankroll. All right, $30 on the don't pass. We're coming out. There's the point is 5, and I'm going to go ahead and put 10 there, 5 on the 4. We'll put 12 on the 6 and the 8, and 5 on the 10. Here comes the caps. And let's roll. 7 out. Well, we're working our way somewhere. We hope that the 7 comes a little bit later in this situation, but we'll take it. Here we go. Sorry, there we go. 30 coming up. Point is 4. Again, in the original don't pass for dummies strategy, that would mean that we'd put an additional 60 on the don't pass odds. I am not playing that strategy. Instead, I'm putting our money here on the line so that when we actually play the strategy, we have an opportunity to make money back before we, if I were to put the odds down here on that, and then we came back and hit the 4 with no chip here, we would lose a ton of money. And that is the bane of that strategy. So let's see what we can get with this going on. Okay, that's a 6. We make $14. And we go back up to the DC. Oops. Let's go ahead and change to 5s. 10 on the DC. And we're rolling. All right, there's a 549. We're going to go ahead and put 10 more back on the DC and roll again. All right, so Yo comes up and takes our don't come bet. There's no other action on the board. We just have to simply replace that. And boxcars, it looks like it was bad, but it's just a push. So we'll put that $10 original back on the DC. Okay, now our board is getting pretty juicy here, right? We've got a 4-1-5. The DC travels to the 5. I've got DCs on 5, 6, and 9. That's $30 if we hit big red. In addition to the $30 down here, that's $60 with the exposure of $32. I'm sorry, $22 here. We've got $5 here, $12 here, and another $5 here. So if at any point, and we're going to go ahead and put the DC back up, but if at any point we hit big red, we're going to be all right. All right. I say that until we start seeing clusters such as multiple hits on the DC, just as we hit that 5 again. That will wear down our profit eventually, so we got to be careful with that. Not that we can do anything, except unless you have the magic touch with the dice. Here we go. And again, we lose 10 and shuffle 10 over. 10 back up on the DC. Wow. Boy, should have put some money on the 5. Here we go. And the 9. These are the rolls that happen. However, I will say this. There's a $14 winner on the 8. Our board is, again, looking pretty good. We got $40 up top and $30 on the don't pass. It is a don't pass strategy. Let me just take a moment to address the way that things could and normally did go with the original Don't Pass for Dummies strategy. It's not a criticism by any stretch of the imagination. That is the inspiration for this video. But you know, we've oftentimes had where you've got odds up here. I should say, over here. No, it'll be up here. We've got odds up here, and then in some cases, we'd roll those odds over and over and over again, and you roll the point, I should say, and lose the odds. This is a, oops, oh my, I'm going to have to clear. When I clear, I'll have to put those 2 up on the 4 and 10 again. 10 here, 5 here, 5 there. There we go. This rendition of the strategy actually shows less risk overall for the long haul. You get a longer play of the game. You're going to lose. Eventually all strategies lose, but this one seems to be in a better position to not get pummeled by hitting the point. And there's big red right there. Come on, baby. Right now we're at 9,998. We are at a net loss of $2, and we've been playing for just almost half an hour. So let's go one more and see what we can do. See if we can get ahead. $30 on the don't pass, and we're coming out. Point is 9. We're going to go ahead and reset our DC, our 4, our 6, and our 8 and 10. I'm going to go ahead and put the caps on the 6 and the 8. $74 bet, and we're ready to roll. And there's an 8. We make $14 on the place bet for the 8. The DC moves to the 8. We reload the DC with 1s. There's our 5. And so $10 on the DC. Again, that's 1/3 of the original don't pass bet. And we're rolling it. And just shuffled the 8. It's all right. That happens. $10 back up. And there's the 9. We hit our point. That's the least ideal situation. So let's go ahead and put $30 back up on the don't pass. And we're coming out. Point is 6. Again, since we didn't 7 out, I'm not changing or adding any more money to the original bets that we put on the numbers. $10 on the DC, because that's what we do every time, no matter what. And here we go. There's big red. And we're at 9,990. We're $10 down. Shall we go one more? Let's give it one more chance to get ahead and see what happens with this strategy. If nothing else, I believe that this strategy allows you the greater flexibility to play a longer time. And, you know, I mean, our net loss is $10 at this point. If we were to walk away now, playing for half an hour, I don't know a lot of things that you can do for $10 and get a half an hour experience out of it. But this is kind of fun to play, and I'm enjoying the strategy. If you've got comments, I would love to hear them. If you've got strategy tips or thoughts about this strategy, please go ahead and put your comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to roll these videos out probably twice a week to just kind of explore how viable the strategies are. And then over the weekend, I'm going to go hit the casino and see if we can put this into action. This is our come out roll. Point is 5. That's $10 on the DC, 4 on the, or 5 on the 4 and the 10. And we're going to go 12 on the 6 and the 8. The caps up. Change back to the 5. Here we go. Rolling out with 74 on the board. And we get $14 immediately for the 8. And the DC moves over to the 8. Here we go. All right, we're going to make $9.75 on the 10. The DC moves over to the 10. This is kind of what we hope for. We want to hit the numbers that have the money on them, and then we want to hit big red shortly after that, because then we're making money as much as possible. Let's go back $10 on the DC and rolling. There's big red. We'll still take it. I'm sure that that's going to do good things for us. We're up $36.75. I'm looking at the time for this video, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. But you can see it's you know, if it works, like Big AZ says all the time, if the dice are working for you, you look like a genius. If the dice are not working for you, then you look like an idiot. In this case, we minimize the look like an idiot, but we also minimize the genius. You might just look like a smart 5th grader. But that's the strategy, and I'm thankful for you tuning in. Do me a favor, if you would, please share this channel with other people. Subscribe to it, give a thumbs up, and hit the notify button or the bell, and give us your comments. I'd love to hear what you think about this strategy in particular. All right. Thanks so much for watching. This is CT from Crapstastic.